Alright, I think we're live.
Yeah.
Alright, I'll check.
It's not coming up with anything for me. Wait. Yep.
It's on?
Upcoming.
Upcoming.
So,
No, it says.
Microsoft needs an update.
Does Minecraft needs an update? No.
Minecraft needs an update. Cancel. What's this? Xbox 360. Yes. That's the better version. Really? Yeah.
The disc is in. Oh, yeah, we're on. We're live.
No. It's pretty delayed. Why is it? Can you full screen it?
No, yeah. Alright, you might need to update them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We can just talk while we like.
Yeah. Wait for some people to pop on.
It's pretty delayed. Why is it? Can you full screen it?
They're gonna hear the echo of us
Yeah.
in the backtrack.
Let's try this actually. Just talk while we like.
Yeah, love it. Wait for some people.
No, I think it's too delayed even for that. I don't think it'll work.
Oh wow, that was quick.
Yeah.
No.
So talk about your 9/11 stuff.
Alright, so I made that video on I already made it. I released like 2 years ago or whatever, the Mao Zedong video. I'm like, oh, the famine was all pretty much propaganda. Or I'm saying like there was whatever, like all the death counts of like 30, 40, 60, 80 million, all this sort of like,
Yeah.
most of it was like, firstly it came from, the first source of 30 million came from Deng Xiaoping, who was Mao's political rival, who had a reason obviously to make him look bad. The
Or they're
highest
secretly like lovers. And
Yeah,
he's just trying to prove
behind
that
this,
he can be political like him.
I think that was going on in the background. They were really smashing booty cheeks,
Yep.
and he got a bit jelly, and then yeah.
We're gonna get death threats now, aren't we?
Yeah, no, 100%. I mean, I already get them from the the Poles. I might as well get them from the Chinese too.
Yeah.
But nah, then the other death counts like 60 million and all this sort of shit is like, it comes from sources that were funded by the CIA or backed by the CIA. Oh, you need to change the settings.
Yeah, no, because it won't let me go single player.
But yeah, it was. So I made that video, talked about all the death counts, sort of debunked a few claims or whatever. But I didn't make a video like how I have this. I made like probably 5 or 6 videos on Joseph Stalin defending the Katyn massacre myth, the Holodomor genocide myth, the party purges, the fact that he was like a dictator and whatever. So I like did that whole thing where I made a bunch of videos debunking all these like sort of liberal claims against Stalin. But
Libtards.
yeah,
Oh.
by the time I finished all that, the last video I made on Stalin, which was probably 7 months now, just the last actual video I produced and released, was like why Russians still support Stalin, which was all about how, all the achievements that Stalin had achieved for the Soviet Union and, well, like Eastern Europe at the time, and talking about why I'm defending Stalin's legacy. It's not just because it's dogmatic, oh yes, I'm a communist, I have to defend every communist leader.
I like Mao and Stalin, like, somewhat, and they're in Civ 4, an old Civilization game, but they're never going to do that again, of course, because,
Yeah. But it's like, okay, I gotta, like, the reason I'm defending them is because I genuinely believe that they did good things for the world. It's not just because, oh, well, I have to defend them because they're a communist, whatever. So I haven't yet done that for Mao Zedong. So I debunked the whole claim of the Great Leap Forward being whatever. I might make a video on the Cultural Revolution someday, but I want to get it out the way before because it took me forever to do that with Stalin. So I worked on the script about all of Mao's achievements and how he improved China, which I could go through today. But yeah, I was working on that, but then I realized that September 11th was coming up. So I was thinking I missed my opportunity last year to do a video on September 11th when it was happening. So I was thinking I should probably do something like that now.
Alright.
Start working on a video about, well, specifically a claim that I made on a live stream probably like a year ago or whatever, where I said that America deserved 9/11, because, which isn't...
Well, I mean, they did
I'm not
pretty much cause... well, they funded the right-wing group that would lead to Al-Qaeda, which led to the bombing of America. So if they hadn't had intervened in the Middle East in the original place, they would have never had 9/11. There would have been no war in the Middle East. And I feel a lot of the war in the Middle East was driven by the military-industrial complex, like Lockheed Martin, Texas Instruments and all that.
Yeah, of course.
Boeing. Because they just want to make more money. And wars cause the government and therefore the people of America to gain a lot of debt. Like, a lot. Trillions of debt.
Which then needs to be paid back, which
yeah.
makes them more profit.
Okay, so the money just directly goes to Lockheed Martin, though. Okay, so, like, the US goes in the Middle East. They rack on debt from other countries, so that debt goes on to the people. But the money from that debt then goes to Lockheed Martin. They just pay him out immediately. It's just crazy, you know. Well, it's not crazy. It's just it's a retarded model of running a country, really.
But that's how most empires work. I'd really recommend anyone to be reading Imperialism, the High Stage of Capitalism by Lenin. It sort of explains this phenomenon.
Yeah.
But in the modern era, we have a situation where countries like America, they profit greatly from these wars, even if the people don't support it.
Even if the people aren't getting the profit, it's just...
Yeah. But it's like the military-industrial complex has such a overreaching power over the government. So not only does it defend their imperial ambitions in the Middle East, but it also makes them squillions. Like all these sort of industrial, military-industrial, like Lockheed Martin.
All that debt goes directly into the military-industrial complex. Like, let's just say they earn like $1 trillion of debt in the Middle East. That goes right to, you know, them.
Yeah.
It's so useless.
But
we should ban them.
But yeah, so there's that. There's the factor of America directly funded the Mujahideen in Afghanistan when they were fighting the revisionist Soviet powers in the 80s and 90s. They wanted to oust the People's Government of Afghanistan to replace it. And the Americans did this by funding the most radical, whack-job, schizophrenic Islamists that they could find, giving whoever was mental enough to pick up a gun and fight this government as much weapons and whatever as possible. And this funding of the Mujahideen led to not only the Al-Qaeda group of Osama bin Laden, who was part of the Mujahideen in Saudi Arabia, but also led to the Taliban. And the Taliban is what the Americans fought for 20 years, spending trillions of dollars, costing hundreds of thousands of lives, innocent lives mainly, all for what? To replace them with the Taliban again. It's like they put the Taliban in power for their own interests. Once it became useless to them, they tried getting rid of the Taliban because the Taliban wouldn't give up Osama bin Laden to them. Even though Osama bin Laden was offered to the Americans, I think on 2 occasions, they decided to continue their war, obviously, for their imperial ambitions and the money that the wars created. So that's the first aspect, really, of why I said that America deserved 9/11. I want to clarify, I don't think that
not the citizens of America. It's just the elite that, you know, does all the decisions. Because the people are like, you know, really... Like, American people are usually, like, really nice, of course, if you don't go to Alabama, where they breed with vegetables. But yeah, usually very nice people, generous, and then you just go up, like, one class, and they're pretty much all dicks.
Yeah, I did notice that when I was in New York. The people that we talked to, like, they all seem quite genuinely, like, nice individuals. Like they were all very helpful and everything, which I was surprised because the way that America's pictured to us here is like quite unfortunate. But
they're just normal people.
They did seem like nice people. But the thing is, I'm not saying that the 3,000 Americans that died on 9/11 deserved it in any way. But what I'm saying is that the 1.5 million Iraqis that died due to American sanctions on Iraq before 9/11 didn't deserve to die either, just because of what Saddam Hussein was doing.
Also, 9/11 definitely was not an inside job, and I don't know how people even like believe that. And it's just, I think they believe it because it's racist. It's like, oh, brown people couldn't build the pyramids, and brown people could never, like, destroy the World Trade Center. And also, the Jewish people also did not have anything to do with it. And no, they weren't jumping out of the tower before it went there. And yes, a plane hitting into a tower does cause it to collapse. You don't need explosives
but
for
jet
it to...
fuel can't melt steel beams. Have you ever considered this?
Plus, the tower itself was also incredibly poorly built. I believe there was a French documentary before 9/11 that documented how terribly, the towers were built.
Osama bin Laden watching, they're like, yep, this is the one.
Yeah. Alright, thanks, French bros.
Thanks for that one.
The French just wanted to do it to America. They were helping.
Yeah.
Oh, what's that?
All these conspiracies are nonsense. The French are actually in on it the whole time.
They're the real world elite.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Not the Jews. None of that. It's the French.
Yep.
Yeah. No, but yeah, I never sort of tap into the conspiracy aspect
because
of my video.
Because you're not a schizo.
Yeah, and I just didn't want to give any of it the time of day, because it's like, okay, well, like, from what we know, it isn't an inside job, and a lot of, you are right, like, it is kind of funny, because Americans viewed themselves as like, oh, we're all powerful, no one can touch us, we can do whatever we want. They were meddling in the Middle East, doing whatever, thinking there's no chance that it's ever going to have any blowback on us, and that's why I believe 9/11 was deserved by the American government, because it was the first time they actually experienced any blowback for their empire's actions, and they thought they were untouchable. They thought all this sort of stuff. They had, like, the American, like, the airport security was nothing like it is today, and I mean,
if they found a pipe bomb, they'd just give you a pat on the back.
Like, mate, come on, this is over 100 milliliters. This is.
Well, they've got improved technology to do that now. It can basically, they use AI to identify what the objects look like, and like an accelerometer or something, like X-rays to identify the material. So should make things a little faster from now on.
Yeah, not for me. They always pull me to the side for
a
random spot check. Yeah, of course.
I don't go on airplanes anyway. I don't have money.
Yeah, I mean, whenever I go back to Ireland, it's always the same thing. We always get pulled to the side. Random spot checks, very randomized.
Maybe you should just pull your bootstrap up.
I should, yeah.
Pull yourself by the bootstrap.
Get a private jet so I don't have to go through TSA.
Yeah. Or just go on a really long boat ride.
Yeah, 6 months in a boat on the way to...
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll rock up with all sorts of diseases.
All you've got to do really is... Okay, so a little bit of Australian history here. Captain Cook...
Johnson Cook?
Yeah, sure. Thanks. Captain Cook had to go all the way from Britain to Australia, which is no short thing. And a common issue was something called scurvy, which is where you have a lack of vitamin C. And he actually came up with a solution to it, and it's sauerkraut. So fermented cabbage, that's German for that. And it lasts basically indefinitely, because the more fermented it gets, the more soury the kraut gets, Yeah, it's just... I love my Captain Cook. Just have sauerkraut on your voyage and you'll be fine.
Yeah.
That's the
Top
pirate
tips
code.
From...
Yep. Top tips from Sprinkles. Follow my channel.
Oh, yeah. I'll have the channel linked in the description.
Yeah, thanks.
Nice. So, yeah. But no, yeah, it's, like, that is definitely an aspect of it where people just, like, can't imagine... Oh, how can these hooligans in the Middle East manage such a...
Yeah. How can brown people do that?
It's the same thing the Israelis, like, are on about. whenever they get like a genuine attack like October 7th, and it's not just them like throwing rockets over.
Yeah.
The first time they actually get properly attacked. And then they're
They
so shocked.
they have capability to use tactics.
Oh my
No.
god! They're able to use homemade weaponry? Oh, crazy. But I mean, it is kind of mental going in. What are the, those gliders, like Fortnite? Just going over the wall into a music festival? That's mental. But yeah. Another thing is, well, I'll go through Osama bin Laden's letter of America in my video. I'll go through it a bit today. But
Well, I mean, I don't really agree with. I still think he's like a terrorist and a bad person, but
yeah,
he
of
is sublime taste in video games. He played TF2, Half-Life, Halo, and all that stuff. Really, yeah, good.
I mean, bro had like how many wives and still had porn on his computer?
Yeah, I mean, there's just an incel, like, you know, so many on the internet. He was chronically online.
Have you seen him singing, what's he call it?
Seen what?
Lady Gaga or something?
Close one. No, I have not.
Hold on, let me find it.
Oh, a little bit of Australian politics. Don't vote for the Greens. Ah. And he filmed that.
Come on, look at him, he did nothing wrong.
He does look pretty innocent.
That's why I think it's an inside job. That man is too innocent to kill 3,000 people. No one that sings Poker Face that good can kill 3,000 people. I refuse to believe it.
I like Weird AI. Weird Al Yankovic's better.
No, but yeah. I don't obviously support Osama bin Laden. I don't support Islamism or any of his sort of ideals. He was a bit of an opportunist as well. Like, obviously they were funded by the Americans.
Then he was like, ooh, me like.
Yeah, but like, to a lot of Arabs, and a lot of people in the Middle East, he is seen as an and as a revolutionary figure and as an anti-imperialist.
But really, he's
figure.
just a loser who spent all his time on the internet. But he played TF2, so that's all justified.
Yeah, but it's like he's seen as like a sort of Muslim Che Guevara in a way.
Yeah.
But he's not just seen as some radical extremist that did whatever. Because, obviously, when you're living in that sort of environment, and the reasons he gave for 9/11 in his letter of America, which I go through in my video, explain, and most of them are very justifiable reasons. Obviously, I wouldn't agree with,
He did my mom. He said he'd do it online, but he wasn't kidding. TF2 is so mean.
I mean, he did say, I want to attack Americans because I need to turn them to Islam, but that's... Apart from that, most of the other reasons were pretty good.
Yeah.
You had Iraq, obviously, which America put Saddam Hussein in power for their own interest once he stopped becoming... They funded him in the Iraq-Iran war, also funded Iran so that they could use that money to... they sold weapons to Iran so they could use that money to fund the Contras, which is the Iran-Contra affair, and Ronald Reagan, an absolute prick. But, yeah, all the actions in the Middle East at that time, especially then afterwards with Iraq, they put illegal UN sanctions onto Iraq, which killed 500,000 children or more during the 90s. So, very recent...
I don't care about children right now. This is Halo 4, right outside of Halo CE. This is canonically incorrect. I don't care about the children. I care about this.
Yeah, it's despicable.
Yeah, look at that.
Declaring a jihad. Global jihad. This is unacceptable.
Yeah. You were saying about the children?
But yeah, it's like, obviously, as an Iraqi, you would probably feel some sort of affinity for the guy that's bringing a war to the lads that killed, 500,000 children. Malnourished just 1 million children. And that's one of the main reasons he brings up in his letter to America.
But malnourished, that's like half the child.
Oh yeah, they only count for half. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Also, they're brown, so it doesn't really equate the same. Yeah.
Of course.
I really hope YouTube doesn't take this
Yeah,
seriously.
no, this is not serious. This is actually, like, when we do this humor, it's joking. It may be dry, may be sarcastic, but I think that's just white people humor.
Good thing they don't see that we're both like blonde hair, blue eyed white guys.
I'm actually Sudanese. That's where I get my height from.
Yeah, and he's Jewish, so any Jewish jokes are allowed.
Yeah, I'm a Jewish Sudanese man.
Yeah. Yeah, very common.
Yeah,
surprisingly common. Yeah.
You'd be surprised.
Yeah. Also Mexican, so you can make those jokes too.
Nah, Mexicans are cool. They've got the funny accents. And the funny hat. They go, "Hey, what's up?" You know.
And he's allowed to say that because he's Mexican.
Yep, I'm Mexican, and YouTube cannot prove otherwise.
Yeah. But yeah, he also brought up, obviously, first reason he brings up in his thing is the Palestine conflict.
Yeah. Oh, that helps.
But yeah, he talks about the establishment of Israel as being the biggest crime ever committed in humanity, and the continuation of the Israeli state as a continuation of the biggest crime ever committed. And that's obviously due to the Nakba and subsequent
and they're also
wars.
Jewish, and the thing about Islamists that they just don't like them.
But they don't like any other religion.
Well, not wrong, but they dislike them especially.
Yeah, which they see the Jews as being a pawn used by. Well, a lot of Islamists view the Jews as being pawns used by the West to infiltrate the Muslim world through Israel. So there is an extra sort of hatred there that's more. But he talks about, like, obviously I'm going to talk about all the crimes committed by the Israeli state, like the Nakba and etc. And he also talks about the governments in the Middle East, like Saudi Arabia for example, are supported by America and backed by America, and he calls these governments anti-Islamic because of how they treat their people, they brutalize their people. So I'm going to talk about all the governments that America supports in the Middle East, because these are like the worst of the worst. Like these sort of, like, the Saudi Arabian government makes Saddam Hussein look like baby Jesus. It's like
You've got Apex Legends.
Of course.
Oh.
I think what's his name downloaded that.
Hobo Joe.
Yeah. From someone. But yeah, talking about that, gonna talk about some of the crimes of the Saudi Arabian state, such as obviously starving out Yemen and causing like one of the biggest famines in modern history in Yemen, or because some like Shias there decided they wanted to take power. They brought war to the entire country.
Classic blunder.
You know.
A mistake anybody can make.
You know how they do. Like, whenever the West feels threatened, they just kill civilian populations until they get their way. But yeah, also the Saudi Arabian state, all the refugees that were coming from Ethiopia through Yemen into Saudi Arabia looking for a better life. There's all these sort of stories, and it's happening on a mass scale of like mass rape of all these sort of refugees. And there's a story in particular that brought the whole thing to light in the sort of mainstream a little bit, which was when they forced two men by gunpoint to rape two women all refugees that came into the country. And this is just common practice from the Saudi Arabian. So obviously...
Wait, don't they do a thing where they rearrange the stuff in your house to just cause psychosis?
Oh, yeah, the Saudi Arabian version of the CIA, where they just break into your house just to move the 2 inches. They'll move your bed just so you're like, oh, my bed wasn't there. Or they'll swap your socks so you only have left foot socks. Yeah, these are the sort of crackpots that America supports, because obviously you got to support only the best. Yes, exactly.
Oh, on the topic of oil and electric cars, there's been so much resistance and media against electric cars, especially on social media, and of course Murdoch media and whatnot, where people are like, I can't drive my electric car to this place. Take that, the distance. But first off, there are lots of charging stations, and there's even a website you can use, I believe, to view them. I don't have it with me right now, because I'm not looking at that. But also, biofuels could be a very good alternative to EVs. Like ethanol. Ethanol can be grown in, tree form. Like, okay, so some scientists bioengineered trees, and they can grow incredibly fast, absorbing lots of carbon. And when they turn that organic matter into the ethanol, it actually is carbon negative when it's burnt off. So, but that's so carbon negative, you could even turn it into like E80, which means 80% ethanol, 20% petroleum, and it could still be carbon neutral. So you could still use petrol in circumstances to bulk up the energy density, and you can still drive. Another thing with that is that you don't need a whole new car. You've just got to edit the engine a little bit, like the spark gap timings, whatever it is. I'm not a car person.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah, that's just ethanol.
yeah. But yeah, obviously America only supports Saudi Arabia for the oil. That's where we're going.
Without it, they'd be
yeah cooked. But yeah, the same reason they supported Kuwait, even though the Kuwaiti government was shit during the Gulf War and all that, and why they want influence over Iraq and all of that, etc. But yeah, it's interesting. I'm also going to work on a video for October. I'm aiming to get 2 videos out in October based on the Israeli-Palestine issue, where I'm going to... One is just the history of Israel and Palestine from a dialectical materialist perspective of history.
What's that?
Which is the Marxist way of analysing history. And the second video, or the first video, depending on how I release them, is why America supports Israel and is such a large supporter of Israel. So yeah, hopefully.
Well, there's 10 people watching.
Oh, nice. Yeah, so hopefully.
Yeah, Mexicans are cool. Redburn.
Oh yeah, I haven't even checked the.
Yeah. Oh my god. Last time I checked, there was just one fella. And American like big cars. Yes.
That
correct,
is true.
Redburn. No, it's actually really weird. They've just got the biggest motor cars and SUVs, and it's just so impractical. I think, plus companies are more obliged to build them because of a legislation they passed where they want more energy. It's something like we make cars with more fuel to energy ratio, and we'll give you tax cuts. So they just build SUVs, and it's.
Well, as you know, the bigger your car is, the bigger your, is. So.
Definitely not compensated, bro.
Definitely not. Yeah, the bigger your car, that's a direct fact. There's squillions of studies, trust me.
Yeah.
That it's proven. It's science. You guys might not understand.
Yeah.
But yeah, when your car makes a bigger noise as well, yeah, massive. That's how you know someone has a massive one.
Luckily, we haven't said it because YouTube would just.
Yeah, absolutely fucking molest me.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's great fun. Also, shout out to all the ASIO Asians watching. Big fan. My biggest fans. Always tuning in. Taking notes, it's lovely. But yeah. So yeah, be expecting those sort of videos. So I have the first one will be out, we're hopefully aiming for September 11th. So get it out, is the video on Osama bin Laden's manifesto and why I believe that America deserved 9/11.
Well, they caused it.
Yes. And second video is going to be that Mao Zedong video explaining his achievements or whatever, hopefully. And then 2 videos out in October will be about Israel-Palestine. And if you guys have any video ideas that you would like me to make, please, I'm open to every suggestion. A lot of people give me suggestions like, oh, make a video about like Yugoslavia or Tito or whatever. And it's like, I would love to sort of start producing those kind of videos and all that.
Just read the chat from my phone, I guess, because I'm not using it.
Oh, thank you. But it's like, there's obviously, I don't know what to talk about Yugoslavia.
Yeah.
Like, my videos aren't just like in
Can you
general.
talk about how American Protestantism is a heresy and how it is used by the elite and other people to just gouge money out of citizens?
Oh, I could talk about the cults and stuff in America. and
Yes, like the Book of Mormon, the guys who
Yeah.
go to your doorsteps.
stuff. And how... Oh, I can talk about the different Protestant
Yes,
churches.
because that isn't true Christianity. True Christianity goes for things like progressivism, economic stability. And Jesus did implement in Christianity socialist, things in the West. That's what instilled them. And welfare and whatnot. There's so many comments Jesus makes, though, about rich people. And conservatives like, no, Jesus said he hates gay people. Even though there's nothing to say that, even though Jesus said...
And also, the translation of homosexuality, back in those days, homosexuality was used to refer to any sexual infidelity of any kind.
Yeah.
Which is like cheating on your wife or whatever, like all that sort of what was seen as unsavory behaviour.
But that's just Protestants, because they, it's in their rule of law that the Bible is the word of God, which means that whatever it says is true, it's gospel.
Mate, taking every single word in the Bible word for word is so, like, it's ridiculous. King James edited the Bible. How many translations of the Bible have been made? Like, you think you can interpretate the Bible better than the fucking Pope?
Yeah.
It's
Plus the Pope's cool, it's funny, got a funny hat.
And he says the words that we all like to say, that, everyone's too afraid to say these days. I can't say it. but
it's referring to fascists.
Yes, the bundle of sticks.
Yep. The etymology of the word, I can't say it. But
Crazy
basically,
in the chat.
Fascist means F-A-G-G-O-T, because F-A-G-G-O-T means bundle of sticks. Bundle of sticks is the symbol of fascism. And
So you don't call it a bunch of sticks, you call it a slur of sticks, right? But if you look at the Italian symbol for fascism, not the swastika, the German one, look at the original fascist symbol. It is a bundle of sticks tied together.
Yeah, with like
with
an axe, isn't it?
I think, yeah. Speaking of axe, you just made one.
Yep.
But yeah.
I've got a bundle of sticks too.
Oh, nice. Yeah. But yeah, the word it originates from is the same word that the slur originates from.
The slur. We can't say it.
Can't say it. The Pope can say it, I can't say it. But,
Because the Pope's cool.
Yeah, the Pope is pretty cool,
Plus, he knows too many languages, and it could probably get confusing. Like, that word's bad.
That's the thing. Like in whatever language he said it in, it's like I don't think it's abnormal or whatever it was.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, he's the Pope. He can do whatever he wants. What are you gonna do about it?
Yeah. What are you gonna do?
Yeah.
Hey Pope, I don't actually like Christianity. Okay.
Yeah, but what's it called? Where was I? Yeah. So the idea behind fascism is that if you have like 50 sticks together, it symbolizes the strength of the nation, because if everyone in the nation works together in a unity based on their race and all this sort of nonsense, that it's stronger and they work better together or whatever. Which is funny because it originates from the same thing as the gays.
Yep.
But yeah,
So you actually have right to call fascists the slur.
Yes, you should use that. No.
You should. Well.
We're gonna get this stream taken down again. But yeah, I just thought that was, whatever. What was I talking about? Yeah. Anyway, it's a funny.
We've got a South African in chat.
Yeah, we have a South African, and we have.
There's a lot of South Africans in Australia, actually.
South African said, "Yeah, the Pope is cool." Based.
Yeah, hell yeah, brother.
And then someone said, "No way! I actually called a stream. Hello, fellow comrades." Joined right as we were having that discussion. That's lovely.
Yeah. Just the.
Yeah. Where was I? How did we even get on the topic of the Pope?
The heresies.
Oh,
in America.
yes, sir. If you guys have any like video suggestions or whatever, I'd be totally down. But obviously in my videos I talk about issues and I debunk them or whatever, or I like.
Is being racist really that bad?
Yeah, that's
Follow me now.
That's my most popular videos titled, of course.
Yep.
But yeah, like that's the sort of style of content that I'm try working with. Like I'm a propagandist. That's the sort of stuff I do.
Yep.
So I don't know.
Can you talk about how bad the Australian Greens are and how they're taking away votes from the Labor Party, which increases the strengths of the Nationals and Liberals? Because the Greens are useless in Australia.
I mean, that's more your alley, I think.
Nah.
But yeah.
You could. I like the Communists more than the Greens, like much more. Vote Labor, yo. Vote one Labor.
You're telling a communist audience to vote. I don't think you're.
Vote one Labor.
But yeah. Anyway. What was it? So yeah, I don't know. I would make a few religious. I don't know, because I don't think my audience is very like religious.
They're communists.
Yeah. A lot of communists are atheists.
Yeah.
Personally, I'm not.
That's probably because Marx said, religion something suppresses the proletariats, which you're kind of used to,
No, that's what he's
in the
talking.
Middle Ages.
He never said that religion itself was bad. He was saying that religion is used by the powerful to keep the people that are oppressed.
So America.
Yeah, literally, he was right, and Hitler used Christianity in his books to justify what he was doing. Yeah. And he talked about his love of God.
See, Jesus was white. Definitely, bro.
Yeah, 100%. Jesus was a white man with blonde hair and blue eyes from Syria, 100%. As we all know, there is.
And he had a thick German accent.
There is a lot of Syrians with blonde hair, blue eyes.
Seriously?
Yeah, because the White Rush. Fun fact. During the Russian Civil War, when the communists were taking over, the White Russians, which were the fascists that were trying to keep their power, a lot of them fled to Syria, and there's a lot of White Russians that are in Syria, still to this day, which is quite interesting.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, but I don't know if I'd venture into religious content or anything.
Maybe that's more a me thing.
Yeah, but I mean, I would talk about the cults or talk about how religion is used by the government, talk about that Marx quote and sort of all of that sort of stuff. But yeah, I mean, my bad. But yeah, I have those, 4 or 5 videos coming out in the next few months, hopefully. I haven't really been working on much videos recently.
Yeah.
In the past, few months or so. So I'm hoping get back into it, get some stuff out there. So yeah, I mean, hopefully you guys appreciate it, because it does take quite a lot of work to edit.
Surprising amount of work.
Yeah,
actually.
Literally, I'll be editing a video and I'm stuck there for half an hour, an hour, and I get a few seconds of progress in that video. It's but yeah. Hopefully you guys appreciate it. Hopefully you find the stuff interesting, valuable in any sort of way.
No, they actually subscribe to you because they hate you.
Yeah.
They're doing it out of spite.
But yeah, it is a passion of mine to sort of continue this sort of work. So yeah, hopefully get a few more videos out in the next few months.
Hold on. New comment from Gaming Foxy Gamer. What about American anti-decolonization rhetoric?
Decolonization. Are you referring to domestically or foreign policy-wise? You could be talking about the Native Americans, or you could be talking about the American Empire's influence around the world. So I'm not really sure. Because I did make a few videos about Americans' involvement in the Middle East in the past and stuff, but I've taken them all down. So I might be working on a few videos later on in the year, potentially, about that sort of stuff. But before I did it, I don't like how I did it. I just talked about individual events, like Salvador Allende and all this sort of coups in South America, and going, oh look, see America bad. But it's that's not really a more scientific approach to it would be to explain why America does this sort of thing. And explain that it's a phenomenon for a reason, and that sort of stuff. More Marxist approach to it, hopefully, instead of just the Johnny Harris liberal sort of, oh, America did a bad thing. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So I might go back to some of the old videos that I've taken down and sort of hopefully do a better job explaining what I was trying to explain at that time. But yeah.
Also, if anybody goes onto my channel, because it's Easter, socialism versus communism video, just know that I exploited a grey area for views. Like, of course I do talk about how communism is misused in practice, but I just deliberately use terms that are in the grey area to stoke anger. Because people, when they get pissed, they're like, oh my god, this man is the Antichrist. I'm going to comment thread and talk about how that isn't communism. Communism's anarcho-communism. Which was...
Oh, which is anarchist.
No, I'm not even joking. So many of the people... Like, I had fascists saying communist comedy and just fighting, saying...
Anarchists.
Yes, anarchists. And they were going... I think there was this one fella and he was like... that isn't real communism. Real communism is anarcho-communism. And one of the other guys commented and he said, no.
Because I had a conversation probably like a year ago now, like in November last year, where an anarchist told me straight to my face that I wasn't a communist.
What the?
Yeah, that glitch. I was like, oh, he just annoyed me so much. Because I was like, oh yeah, I mean,
And then he hurt himself and others. No, just kidding, YouTube. That's a joke.
No, but I was just like, I was trying to like have a normal conversation with this bloke. Try sort of, we obviously like it's okay to have political differences or whatever, but actually like understand each other or whatever. But this bloke, like, it was just being so annoying. Everything. I was like, oh yeah, you know, I've been a communist for like 2-3 years now. Read all, and he's like, oh, you're not a communist. I'm like, mate, no, I'm a communist. Just ask ASIO. But he was like, no, because communists want a stateless, classless, moneyless society, and that's not what you advocate for. You advocate for a dictatorship by these like monsters like Stalin and everything like that.
Anarchists are just their dads left them when they were young and they don't know what to do.
It's like, I don't think all anarchists are bad people, or that, like, I think they are well intentioned.
Okay, we've got some new comments. Gaming Foxy Gamer said domestic. Redbird said, what is your friend's channel name? I'll just type that. I am Sprinkles.
Oh yeah, I'll leave that in the description after this.
Yeah.
But yeah. So, yeah, he's put a comment there anyway.
Gravy said, love angering secularists. Didn't invite me to hang out again, said Cerronian nationalist. Also, hello. Gravy's such a good name, and I'm drowning.
Who's Cerronian nationalist?
Huh.
Oh, it's probably empty there.
Huh? Isn't he the guy from before who did... No, that's the political shrimp. Oh.
You just sent me that. Damn, bro.
Who is that? Oh, okay, that's who it is.
Yeah. Where were we? But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think anarchists are well-intentioned people, and they are, most of them are genuine.
But their dads left them, and that's why they have a complex against authority. No, I'm being genuine here. I think the reason why so many anarchists hate
bedtimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's like a whole meme about like anarchists being just childish, and but it's like, okay, like anarchism has never worked from a scientific perspective. As a Marxist, we analyze history through dialectical materialism.
Oh God!
And it has never worked and will never work for any period of time at all, because it always gets just completely thrashed. And all actions by the communists of like, people talk about, oh, the Soviet Union, it was so authoritarian and totalitarian and all these sort of, made up words that are just big words to make themselves sound smarter. The Soviet Union was invaded by 14 different countries during their civil war. What did you expect them to do? Just go, oh no, it's okay, guys. Let's talk about freedom and democracy. No police or military, or we don't want any of that. That's authoritarian.
Yeah.
Because we want to make some white kid with daddy issues in 100 years' time think that we're cool guys.
We're also white, so we can say that as well.
So it's like, yeah, obviously actions have to be taken, and that's why I defend Stalin in
No.
such a vehement way.
My stuff.
Yeah. But it's like, yeah, you know what I mean? I defend Stalin, I defend Mao, because I believe
Come on.
in the video that I'm making about Mao, I talk about his great achievements. I've made a video talking about the great achievements of Joseph Stalin and what he did for his country. These leaders did incredible things for their nations and their people, improved the lives of...
But you could say the same thing about Hitler. He did amazing things for Germany. He got them out of the unfair treaty of Versailles. He increased the economy, like, a lot. He achieved full employment. Just ignore the other stuff. But for his nation, he was good.
No, the difference with Hitler is he put Germany into a constant state of war, which it didn't need to be in. The Treaty of Versailles was very unfair. The Germans were not the bad guys in World War One, and
they weren't, definitely.
Yeah, and they did not deserve the Treaty of Versailles. It could have been avoided. Also, Britain and France did nothing to stop Germany's advancement into the east because it didn't affect them. The Soviets were the only ones that had a problem with them advancing anywhere in the east. And then they turn around and go, Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact, they were actually allies. Ignoring the fact that the Germans and the French and the British both had, treaties and pacts with the Germans.
Oh, yeah, there were a lot. Like, Bismarck set them all up. And if Bismarck wasn't kicked out by Wilhelm II, Germany would have been cash. They would not have engaged in World War One, or they would have at least won. But Wilhelm II is just a troglodyte, and he's a part of all those inbred royal people.
But the French and the British. The French and the British both signed the same pact, similar military pacts or whatever it's called. But yeah, nobody talks about that because it doesn't help them with their anti-communist narrative.
Okay, so let's see. Surrounding a nationalist, I'm French. That is correct.
You.
Gravy. Anarchists have daddy issues. Facts. It's not idyllic. Good man. Gaming Fox. Yeah, you read the Gaming Foxy Gamer. I'm looking for my stuff, but it's looking pretty bleak.
Yeah, I mean, you have 10 minutes, right, to get it.
Yeah, but I found the rough place, but I just can't find it from there. It's so...
What do you think of the thumbnail?
Oh, no.
If this doesn't get taken down, I swear to God.
You've at least got to bring it back up. This is a solid stream.
Yeah. Also, what I'm going to do is I'm going to download this after it's finished streaming. And I'll put it through an editor, and we'll just chop out all the bits that we don't need. So if you guys, that's why I put some poll up on the channel, asking if you guys would like to see clips made into videos, like shorter little videos, which I would be interested in doing, making it sort of like a podcast kind of thing, because obviously people don't want to sit through the whole stream. I just edit it down. But yeah, I want to do this sort of stuff live.
Oh no! God damn! This is so bleak.
Yeah. So, if you guys most of you guys said you'd be interested in watching that sort of stuff. So, expect that sort of stuff maybe. But yeah, overall, maybe I'll work on another video about anarchism. I did make a few back in the day, just talking about why I'm not an anarchist. And even though, because it sounds perfect. I mean, it's literally like, communism is such a hard thing to sell people on. Because you have to explain the dictatorship, the proletariat, all this sort of stuff. Most people don't. It takes a lot to try, explaining communism to someone. Anarchism sounds so perfect and idyllic to anyone that you explain it to. You just.
So basically there are no rules and you get to eat candy forever.
Yeah. Oh, it's absolutely perfect utopia. You have no rulers. All the sort of. It sounds absolutely lovely. It's just not how the world works.
It's even logically it's flawed because okay, let's just say everything's anarchy. There are no rules. What if somebody wants to make rules so he can have a better life and a group of other people within anarchy go, let's all make rules. Then you go back to slightly more authoritarian. And
the thing is, you try setting up an anarchist country. You don't want a military state. You don't want a police state. You want it to be run but decentralized from the people. And then what happens when the police state next door invades you and you can't do shit about it?
Yeah.
Literally what happened in Catalonia and Magnovshina and Ukraine and all that sort of stuff. It's like that's just what happens when you try anarchism. It never works.
Jova.
And also, they had prisons and all this sort of stuff. Like, literally, just because they call it something else, they make a big fancy word to describe a concentration camp and be like, "Oh, it's not a concentration camp. It's a decentralized people's-run prison that's like that we put all of our political dissidents in. It's not a concentration camp. Trust me."
This is so rough, man. It's so rough. I'm done. All my stuff.
I know. Do you want to end the stream anyway?
Yeah, sure, we'll do it very soon. Also, where's Hobo Joe?
He'll probably be on his way. I texted him. I told him text us when he's nearly here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's all good. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. I've been...
Gravy said whenever you release, I'll watch it. Oh, no. But what
Well, get ready for the sex tape. Coming out late
also,
September.
What's this gaming Foxy game? I don't get this. Actually, existing anarchism is at best decentralized state socialism. Probably how? Because socialism's like welfare, but like anarchism's like everybody's on their own.
No, so state socialism would be what people refer to the Soviet Union as, and then decentralized is just a decentralized form of that.
But you need a means to give out the.
He's saying the only way that anarchism has ever existed, quote unquote anarchism has ever existed is really just state socialism, but like more decentralized, and it always gets fucked over. There's a reason it's fucking centralized, you retards. Oh, I can't say that.
I said it.
Oh, did you?
Oh, I just said that American politics is retired and economic model.
It's okay. My brain doesn't really work that well.
See, his minority.
I have actual brain damage. I think I have the right to say it.
Yeah, he does have brain damage. That's what you get from boxing, I guess.
That's what you get from getting punched in the head multiple times. It does great stuff. It's like scrambled eggs up there. But yeah, get ready for the sex tape. Get my ass blown out. It's an absolutely lovely video. It's in the editing process.
We're gonna get demonetized for this.
That's fine. My videos are demonetized anyway.
Yeah.
But I will edit this all out if I re-upload it.
Yeah.
So even if YouTube tries taking this down, it'll always live in our hearts.
Yeah. So we'll end the stream.
Probably end it then.
Right. Thanks everybody for joining in. You're good customers.
Get ready for the video on 9/11 for September 11th. Working on a big video.
Hold on. Gravy just said, I'd like a video on the pros and cons of a centralized planned economy and how the USSR handled it during its reign. I'll just give you a quick overview here. Basically, the USSR would need a lot of processing power to run a planned economy, right, or computerized economy and whatnot. But the computers back then were like still running on tapes.
And they still did a great job running a planned economy. But today we have, I made a video about this years ago, but today we have a lot of technological advancements which would make a planned economy easier to do and implement.
You could run it on a single Pico, but I'm Raspberry Pi Pico, but I mind you, it still has its faults. Like I'm the electronics guy, and I think you still have to have human intervention, whatnot, but more than you think. But yeah, thanks for watching, everybody.
Yeah, I would make a video on the USSR's economic status and all that sort of stuff, and talk about, especially in the early days, I like to talk about the USSR during Lenin and Stalin, because after the revolution was betrayed, I sort of don't want to get into that iffy stuff. But yeah, I would talk about the USSR's, how the economy actually worked. I want to talk about how the political structure worked, like Soviet democracy and how all of that, because there's a lot of misunderstanding about all that. So that would be a project I would work on, but it is a big project, so if I was to start working on it, probably
I could do a video on planned economies.
Yeah, so probably be later on in the year or early next year. But yeah, anyway.
Mate, we gotta go. It's 11:18.
Oh yeah, alright.
Where is Hobo Joe?
Alright, we'll see you guys.